I'm really excited. So, let me just give you a little background. You saw him on. I highlighted one of his videos. I think I highlighted two of his videos, but he was talking about his son. He's talking to his son, and his son has probably better financial intelligence than all the other sharks, except for me. I don't know how he educated his son in that way. But I do think that financial intelligence is one thing that every single one of us needs. But let me tell you a story. He was raised by his father, who taught him the importance of structure. He earned a football scholarship at Mars Hill College, but decided to leave only after a year and sent to live with his aunt and uncle in Atlanta. They owned a cleaning business, and it prompted Kyren's interest in entrepreneurship. Was working on side hustles as he raised his son. But he decided he wanted to work to create generational wealth and stop hustling. So Kyren's primary focus and motivation is nurturing his son and teaching him the success in life, that he needs to succeed in life, and he needs a strong work ethic and desire to keep learning. Also, the video that I highlighted was also highlighted by Mark Cuban, The Share Room, CNN, Good Morning America, and others. And he has an Instagram account with about 282,000. Listen, I'm on a national television show, and we're damn near on CNBC like the Kardashians of CNBC, and I only got 1,200,000, 1,500,000. However, I'm not going to say only 1,200,000, 1,500,000, because the people that support me and look at me are quality over quantity. But this man has almost the same, and he talks the same language as I do, so he's really putting out a powerful message that people can learn from. So he created his Kyren with his son, which is an educational tool and a motivational speaking company with the goal of empowering their community through wealth and knowledge. And this is the thing that I really loved, and I got to order myself after I read about it. Creates and sells financial literacy coloring books, flashcards, and webinars. So I'm gonna get into that first, the coloring book, flashcards, and webinars. I just want to get that first, and then we're gonna talk about all that other good stuff. What's up, man?
What's going on? How you doing?
All right, brother. How are you?
I'm doing good, doing excellent.
All right. I don't want to keep butchering your son's name.
It's okay. My name is Kyren. My son's name is Kyng. So Kyng Kyren.
Kyng?
Yeah.
Kyng Kyren. Okay. All right. Because it's spelled Kyng, and with me being dyslexic, that all messes everything up. So thank you for being here, man. Thank you for being with me. You're all about education. Good.
Yes, sir.
You good? Yeah. So you're all about education. Yep. And you obviously see that reflected in your son, and I'm going to try to get into a little bit of how you've gotten your son to be that brilliant. But you only went to school for college for 1 year, and me, yes, I didn't even go to college, right? So both of us are constantly trying to learn. I'm trying to learn right now with you. Why do you believe so much in education if you gave up the opportunity to pursue college, and maybe you gave it up for different reasons?
Well, honestly, I didn't give it up. I lost my scholarship. I got kicked out.
Got it.
The woman that helped raise me, also my great grandmother, she had passed away, and one of my family members in Tennessee got killed in a drive-by. So my mind wasn't clear. I asked my coaches to look over me. I had the highest SAT on the team at the time, 1760. So my coaches, they're like, "You're all right, you're smart," but my mind wasn't there, and I became, as a broke college student, I became hustling. I was hustling in school and dorm, not going to class. I was already on academic probation. Somebody, broke into my dorm room and reacted ignorant, tried to react to do some things I shouldn't have done with a firearm, and I got kicked out of school. So my family was disappointed in me, so they sent me to live with my aunt and uncle in Atlanta. And seeing how everything is in Atlanta, Black Hollywood, that inspired me. So, and I just, it's not so much education, it's just knowledge. Because, so many people are graduating and they get these masters and everything and still don't even do the career they went to school for. And, still struggling, not, knowing how to produce. So I'm all about knowledge with my son, the things that I messed up at, my weaknesses, my chinks in my armor, which was knowledge. I was that guy that played sports. And all I cared was about dribbling, playing basketball and rapping. So I'm trying to open his mind to look at things differently. So that's what I'm all about with these kids.
But when you got kicked out or you lost the opportunity, you could have easily said, because it sounds like your mind was in a different place. And a lot, thank God I didn't have a camera on me when I was 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. You know, when we easily judge people and say, how dare you be that person, when all of us, I don't care who you are, you broke the law at some time in your life. I don't care if it was going 10 miles over the speed limit or you had a cracked tail light and driving down a block. But, you know, obviously you went further than that. Why didn't you say, especially in the environment that we're in, of course, even now being highlighted a little bit more, you said a family member got shot in a drive-by, right?
Yeah.
So you were also in school, you reacted different ways. You got kicked out. So, you know, a lot of times in our lives when we're growing up, we felt that the scholarship was the way out of the situation we were in. And now it's gone. I should believe everybody that I should be dead or in jail by 21 and or there's nothing out there for me. So why did you keep trying to gain knowledge and change yourself, you know, after those times when you hit a really rough patch?
You know, you giving me the opportunity, you know, I'm a thank you for putting me on here. You're a legend, so I'm gonna keep it 100 with you and the followers.
Yeah.
I don't sugarcoat. I don't care who judges. You know, we all gonna be judged one day.
Please do.
So,
Keep it 100.
really, in my eyes, when we look at these great figures, especially in the Black community, we love Tupac, we love Nipsey Hussle, we love Malcolm X, we love Martin Luther King. When we look at these figures, it's what kills me about myself, and I'm not judging nobody else, is that we look at these figures and we wear these shirts, we quote them, good or bad, we love them to death. You know, they're legends, Black revolutionaries. But how can you love them and you're not living the life of what they did to inspire you? I cannot sit here and scream, I love Martin Luther King, I love Malcolm X, and I'm not preaching or living, or at least trying to better myself in that aspect of teaching and inspiring others. So I love these people. I can rap in every Tupac lyric, but you know what I'm saying, the positive side of Tupac, the Black Panther side, I can rap every lyric, I can tell you every quote about Malcolm X and Martin. But if I'm not living that on a daily basis or trying to better myself on a daily basis, what's the point of it? I'm a hypocrite. So that's my whole thing with my son. I knew I had this side of me, you know, but I was so worried about, you know, people gonna laugh at you or, you know, bro, you know how we do. We see one person smart, wow, look at him. He want to be smart. You ain't doing nothing. So I cared about other people's mindsets about me. So that's not who I am. So I don't care what you say about me, what you think about me. So my whole thing is inspiring everybody around me. I can't be up here and everybody around me is down here. That's just not me. So, you know, that's my whole thing, you know, trying to live that life of what I really look up to. So
No, I mean, I wish more people understood that, especially with the day of social media, when you're trying to live a false facade and you're not being honest with yourself, or you know, listen, it happened to me. The same thing. Listen, when I said this on one of my Instagrams, but honestly, listen, you know, in 1989, it wasn't fly to make clothes to be a straight male, you know, making clothes. You just thought that everybody who made clothes were flamboyant and Italian and French and obviously, you know, probably gay, right? And coming up in the era of rap music is very homophobic. You know what I mean? I don't, besides one or two rappers now, I think there's still probably many that happen to, you know, be homosexual, but nobody wants to talk about it. It actually is shunned away. So when I was out there and, you know, my boys who, you know, they made the movie Belly about, I would hang out with them, but I was never somebody who's going into that world.
yeah.
When they would be like, yo, we're going into the city, we're going this and that. And they, you know, and I'd be like, you know, I knew they were going to get into trouble or they may be riding dirty. I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to go home. You know, I'm going to go home because I just got a really great pattern of strawberries. And I'm going to make some really cool looking strawberry hats,
Yeah.
you know, with strawberry prints on them. And they were like, we'll make some strawberries.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then honestly, a lot of them stopped talking to me, you know, but I didn't care. You know, I didn't care about what they thought because first of all, I had no issue with anybody's sexual preference. And second of all, I was doing what I love to do, you know, and by the way, those little strawberry pattern hats got me onto the video set. So I got to holler at the video girls while I was on the video set because I went on there to go to dress the artist, and then I'd be sitting there, you know, in the back in the back for about 4 hours or 6 hours during the video, and there'd be a cute girl there, and I'm hollering at her, and then I tell her I'm into fashion, and then game on, right? But so many people so many people had judged me, and I think I reflected on that as being an only child. Listen, I grew up with nobody else around me, so I couldn't care less if you left me. But you also were judging me. So when would you ever be there for me? Because even though I'm just talking about that, what if I really got into trouble and you weren't there for me just because you had this perception of me this way? You really wouldn't be there for me, when it got bad. I mean, there's an old saying in the hood, when it gets dark enough, even your shadow leaves you, right? So you always
Yep.
need to know to have people that are close to you and make sure that if other people got bad perception of you or different perception of you, that's their problem.
Facts, facts, and that's the problem with everybody. We so worried, like, I'll never bash my people. I love my people. I'm stand up for my people. I don't care what nobody gotta say. It might rub somebody the wrong way, like me, like in the streets. If you got a problem, you come talk to me. Don't tell everybody else that you see me, you dap me up. Don't talk to everybody else about me. Come to me like a man, just like they did back in the day. You know how they did in the mafia. We sat down at that table, even though we hate each other. So come talk to me. And my problem was, my problem everybody, period. And this was my mindset too. So when I talk to all the followers, when I talk junk, I talk about myself so I can make myself raise up my standards. So we sit here and we buy Jordans, we buy shoes. That's no knocking Michael. We buy all this Gucci, all this stuff, but we not owning nothing. We not paying no mortgages. When everybody know when you pay a mortgage, you paying somebody else's rent. So you're helping. If you live in an apartment complex, when you're paying that $1,200 a month, $1,600 a month, you're helping pay somebody else's mortgage. So me, this ignorant, to saying show you off these shoes and then don't have no money left for what? Just to put everybody in the club with the same shoes on for what? And I used to be that same dude. So what do I have left? I've had $30,000 in my pocket, and I have nothing right now to show y'all. Nothing from it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I would live right, man. And my soul wasn't liking it. I was sitting here too worried about what the girls like. What damn is they gonna like this? Or my homeboys and a lot of dudes, especially in the streets, we sit here so worried about what somebody else is wearing and looking like and doing and what they, what I'm saying. And really, you're not even pressing no female, because if you really a deep and pure person, ain't nobody, who cares if that girl don't like you because of what you have material wise. So that's the problem with us. We so worried about pressing people. And I'm gonna tell a quick story. And I went to school, when I was in high school, we had a friend, and white dude, I love him to death. He would always wear the oldest Sperry's. Like Sperry's would be talking to you. You know what I'm saying? Shoes messed up, talking to you, same polo shirts. He had the same 4 outfits. We went to his house, before our football game. And we go to his house, and he living in damn near a mansion. And we like, we never thought he like, what I'm saying? So we go inside the house, and we eating snacks before we go to the game. And everything they have in the house, Daymond, is not name brands, off brand. So it's not Frosted Flakes, it's snowflakes and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
we talking junk, all of us laughing like, like, man, we don't want this. Then his dad sat down and talked to us like, I hear y'all laughing, but that's how we keep money, generating, saving money, instead of spending and buying all this new stuff. And he woke me up at an early age of 17 years old. And, we don't think about it like that. Like with the videos like that I posted of me teaching Kyng, I've had a lot of non-black followers say this is cool, but I was taught this when I was growing up. I don't, what I'm saying, like, it's not special. That's the problem. We're not taught this. We're not taught this. We you can't. We can sit here. They're gonna keep killing us. Police brutality is gonna keep happening when you don't have no word. And economically, we don't have no word. We don't have no voice economically. You know what I'm saying? Like if they kill us, all we're gonna do is march and riot. So they don't care what we saying. Jews and stuff, they have word, they have power, economics. We don't have no economic power. We don't, produce. And that's what we have to work on. It's about knowledge. We got to teach these kids early. You can't wait till a kid is 12 years old, not wanting to listen and ready to rebel with puberty. You got to teach them from knee high.
Yeah, and when we talk about this, I want to make sure that everybody knows that we believe we know that we all should be learning. I think financial intelligence is the biggest challenge in this country, period, right? Because just like you with the scholarship, right? And in our situation, as people of color, we never came from generational wealth. So we never had grandpa and great-grandpa and great-grandpa to pass down knowledge through the family on how we live and how we work, right? And that's one of the challenges. But generally all Americans, we also live in this age of you have to have nice things and this and that, and they don't have financial intelligence. And I tell people often, the school system's broken, you know, because if you didn't teach Kyng this information, how do you go through a school system that doesn't teach you any financial intelligence? But why should they teach you financial intelligence? Because they want you to take out $300,000 worth of loans at 16 or 18 years old for a career that you don't necessarily know you want to have, right? So if you don't have financial intelligence then it's going to hurt you as an adult. I don't care what color you are, right? You know, listen, I see it also happen in the other world. You know, listen, you see me on the show, I always have, you know, I always try to turn it on with the suit and everything because I'm respecting the money in the room. I'm respecting the show. But all the people that follow me now, they know this is how I dress normally, right? Jeans and whatever the case is. But I remember this cat, you know, he was telling me, you know, and he happened to be Italian. I remember, and he used to always come in with these $10,000 suits all the time, and he used to just talk about his suits. And I remember one person in the room said to him, you know, that's great, man. You dress so much better than Mark Zuckerberg. You are really impressing me right now. And I remember after that, the dude started wearing jeans and a regular button down after that. From that point on, because the dude who was talking to him had more paper than him. And it happened another time too. I was in a house, the same way you're talking about, but the house is beautiful. I mean, big. And, you know, this woman was talking about how much this costs and how much that costs. And it was a big, like a banquet or a party. And somebody else said something very similar. This house is great. This house puts Warren Buffett's house to shame. And you know what? Everybody in the room got it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's a problem. But the reason why I'm bringing this all back is that people right now have lost jobs. They have their economic status has changed. Their communities are looking at them a little different, even though everybody may be in the same situation, or they were on top for a while, or they were doing better for a while, and now, you know, they may have to take a couple of steps back, and people are going to look at them a certain way. You know, what do people do now when they, you know, even listen, if your husband or your wife, one of your significant others is very much, you know, the socialite and the flashy person and that stuff, whether you're in the hood or whether you're, you know, up here, and now you're busting your butt, the significant other busting your butt, so you don't make them look bad because you never really cared about that stuff. What do you do now?
That's you know, that's the part. That's honestly the part where I'm lost at when it comes to that situation. I don't. It's what's so hard to me is how we can get on the same path and pattern of thinking together. That's the problem. We're so separated as a society. Like everybody has their own ideas, and that's the problem where it's so hard to try to get everybody right here. Then once we get everybody right here, then everybody going. You know what I'm saying? That's what intrigues me and discombobulates me at the same time of how we can get everybody on the same page, or at least looking at stuff in the same manner, so we can progress. And that's what happens every time we get up here. Then something happens when we take 10 steps back. Then we get 20 steps up. Then we take 5 steps back.
Yeah, and it's odd. You know why? Because I always say we have more in common than we have apart, right? None of us want to be judged unfairly. All of us want to work. I don't know anybody who doesn't want to work an honest day's work to then provide for their family. We all want to be able to be loved unconditionally, you know? So I think we have so many things that we have like 95% of, we all want to have an education. We have 95% of the things that are just in common. We want to be healthy. Nobody wants to lose their parents, or no mother should bury their child. But how do we find this stuff to separate us? But one thing that you've done, I think, that why you're getting a lot of the attention and that how you even got on my radar is one thing we all have in common. We want to all educate our kids and make our kids brilliant people, because honestly, you know, let me be selfish about it. I learned this while working with ARP. You know, you're going to take care of your parents 2 times to maybe 3 times longer than they took care of you, right? Yeah. Think about it, right? You're going to raise your child to be 15, 18, maybe 20, 21. But, you know, once your parents are, you know, 60, you may be taking care of them for 40 years, right? So we want to give our kids the best opportunity of life. And also, let's be greedy. We want to also have our kids be smart enough so they can take care of us as well. You are taking care of Kyng. You are making sure that he is brilliant, a brilliant young man. How did that start? When did you start this? And give us a couple of tips. And then I definitely want you to tag your books and all the things, because you have some financial literacy coloring books and various other things. So just walk me through it.
The reason, well, how I look at it with Kyng is, like I said earlier, I looked at my situation. Like, I made it to college, and then I got kicked out, you know, trying to be in the streets, seeing what my homeboys doing, you know what I'm saying, quick money, you know, just like you know, like with this pandemic, everybody understands, like the situation with the rats up in New York, they were saying the rats were getting aggressive, right? They're getting way aggressive, and now, since there's not enough food, because businesses were closed, they have no dumpsters and nothing to really eat out of. So what did they all do? They started getting aggressive, eating each other. That's just how it is in the hood. That's just how it is in the Black community. We have, from you know, systematic oppression, we have became to hate each other, eat each other. When I walk out that door, I'm not having to worry about just you know, non-Blacks looking at me and judging me. I got to worry about my own people killing me. So with my son, I didn't want no chink in his armor. I want him to understand how to carry himself like as a man, because intelligence has no nationality. Intelligence has no color. So when I say man, it's not to impress this white man, this black man as a man. I want him to walk out the door and know how to carry himself as a man. I want him to learn how to handle business, how to negotiate, how to open his mind. When he's driving down the street and he sees a billboard or he sees a commercial, he knows that somebody had to pay for that to be there. It's not just there. I want to open his mind, make him expand his mind. I learned this later on in life. So now I'm looking at, well, hell, Kyren, you open your mind later on in life. I mean, I'm only 28 years old, but I'm opening my mind from the mistakes I made, knowing I don't want my son to go through what I went through. So what would happen if I learned this after getting kicked out of college and going to live with my family and going through the stress and the working and not wanting to work this job, and I just, you know, I'm gonna go back and go sell this and sell that. What would happen if I teach my son early? So, okay, Kyng, economics, without power, you have no power, you don't have no money. You can't even start a war. You can't even have a war with somebody, you don't have no money. So teach Kyng everything. I don't want no chicken in his arm. I want him to know how to protect himself. I want him to know how if somebody bothers his family, he knows how to protect his home, how to protect himself. If somebody puts their hands on him, how to mentally be just great. And some people might look at it selfish, but that's how you gotta look at it. Like, some people talk junk about Terrell Owens. Some people talk about Chad Ochocinco, Allen Iverson, Michael Jordan, and Kobe, how their mentality is. But that's how you have to be with your kids. You got to be competitive with your kids. You can't. It's not just, oh yeah, go in the room and play video games all day. That makes your kid lazy. They have no work ethic. And just because the kid's not getting in trouble, you're still dumbing him down. Some kids can play games all day and stay at straight A's, but most kids cannot do that. So with my son, I just want to intrigue his mind. So I'm going to build him up. I'm going to teach him everything. Business, he can learn how to do business if you want to do business, Kyng. If you want to do help, this is what you do, Kyng. This is how you get a scholarship. If you want to play sports, you got to work hard. You got to bust your ass. And that's what I'm about with him and anybody around me. You guys, my friends. I'm selfish with my friends. I be damn, I'm going to be positive. And you sitting here bullshit. Excuse my language. Sorry. But I can't let nobody around me be like that. Everybody around me has to be on go. My family, my friends. I can't love you if I'm not loving you 100% and telling you what's wrong with you. The same thing with me. So that's what I'm about with these kids and my son, and, you know, teaching them business early. Because you can be busy. You can, you know, like the little girl that started her lemonade business, and now she's making millions early. Yeah. So you
what year? What age did you start this the programming with him? Like, you know, like dropping these seeds of knowledges and stuff like that. Because he's 8. He's 8 years old now, right?
Yeah, I started when he was 6.
You started when he was 6. And what was the steps? Did you do it? Did you spend a half an hour a week with him? Did you, like, what were your techniques of teaching?
I went to school for business management. My grandfather owned a funeral home. My uncle had a restaurant and club. My aunt and uncle Atlanta have a business, cleaning business. So I started. I wanted to teach Kyng once he turned 6. My memory when I was a kid, I remember everything when I was 6. So with kids, they remember better. You can't. I mean, let's not be crazy. You can't teach no kid that. Most kids that ain't damn 3. So I waited till he was 6, and I taught him. And I just went with the simple stuff and how it was in college. Break it down to him. I started with he liked Toys R Us at the time before they shut down. So I said, King, you want to own the Toys R Us and have all the toys you want? You know, he's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, this is what you do to own the Toys R Us. Franchise, break it down, this and that, and third, you know what I'm saying? Make it fun for kids. GameStop, break it down to them about GameStop, break it down to them going to Chuck E. Cheese, the tokens. You can break it down with credit, like credit reward points, things like that. So I built
and then you sort of go into what an asset is and a liability is, and you know what, okay, what a depreciating asset is, depreciating liability. Let me before, because I know we're going to cut off in a little bit due to the I think the limits of this. Where do people find your financial literacy coloring books, your flashcards, and your webinars?
We sold out of the coloring books and workbooks locally, but you go on my website at Kyng Kyren, KYNG KYREN, like my Instagram name.com. We have merchandise right now, and that's supporting making them more books and everything, and workbooks and all the cards. We got financial cards, literacy cards for the kids, and also we have it in kid form and adult form, because I have so many adults inboxing me not knowing where to start neither. So you can do this with your kids, you can do this with yourself. People love the color, people like crossword puzzles. We do the whole nine. So you go on my site and you'll find it.
And do you know any other, like, because when you were doing it, you're a brilliant man with common sense, which is more important than most things. Are there any other tools that you would suggest or recommend to parents right now to go go and find for their kids?
Honestly, with all of this, just honestly being real with yourself, with your kids. You gotta be real with your kids. No sugarcoating. You just form.
No, but like what sources, like books or something like that, that you may be able to recommend, or websites other than yours, obviously, because people, that you could think about, if any.
I really don't. Honestly, I just, you know what I'm saying, like, I just like to read books. I don't really know about anybody else doing it, but I know that Dr. George C. Fraser, I read a lot of his books, and that actually helped me out with this, honestly. So
George Fraser.
Yeah, he helped me out, open my mind with this. So you guys,
I'm gonna tell you a funny story before we go about George Fraser, who's an absolute legend in our community. I went to speak for him one day, and my mother said, "Hey, tell George that I said hello," and I found out that they went on a date. 60 years ago, they went on a date in Brooklyn.
That's crazy.
That's funny stuff, man. So listen, man, I really appreciate your time, and I appreciate how you have inspired the world, and with showing your beautiful son, and how articulate he was, and how brilliant he is, and that I think anybody, all shades, can learn from him, especially those in the African American community. So we can look at positive images like you, like a father with his son, doing this. But it's absolutely amazing, man. Thank you for being here.
No, thank you. Appreciate you and your honor, and like the honor of you reaching out to me and just, supporting us. So I appreciate you and everybody's tuning in.
Absolutely. And when you get those books, man, send me some. I will pay for them. I want to pay for them. You can send me as many as you can, because I'll pay for them and give them to some other people that I know need that information just as well.
Oh yeah, of course. I'm definitely going to inbox you. So I'll keep in contact with you outside of this. So.
All right. God bless you, brother.
Yeah, you too. Appreciate you.
All right.